Once again, this year's exam results have shown that schools have excelled themselves, broken all records. And yet, you know, business leaders continue to bemoan the fact that so many job candidates turn up for interview are just unable to sell themselves to the interviewer. So does that mean that employability is something the schools are just not addressing? No, it's not. In fact, schools bring business people into the classroom more now than they've ever done before. That is not the problem. Let me tell you what the problem is. The problem is that none of the school's funding is ring-fenced for employability skills in the broadest sense. Let's just take mock interviews as an example. They usually take part in year 10. Volunteer business people come into the classroom and they will interview each student for, say, 20 minutes with a 10-minute feedback. And these sessions do go very well. The problem, though, is this. Those students are probably never going to see that interviewer ever again. Now, let's suppose that at the end of year 11 they decide they want to go down the apprentice route, and they go for an interview with an employer for an apprenticeship. That's going to be a year 18 months since the mock interview session. If they go on to A-levels and then go out to look for a job, you can add another 2 years on top of that. And of course, if they go to university, that's a further 3 years. Now, here's a question for you. Is it reasonable to expect that any student is going to remember and be able to apply the feedback advice that they got from that interviewer so far back? I don't think it's reasonable at all. You see, what your son or daughter really needs is a coach, a mentor who will commit to him or her right up to the point where an employer says to your kid, the job is yours, when can you start? Now, if that makes sense to you, please give me a ring, let's have a chat about it. My number is 07795 288 490. And just ask, am I talking to Barry?